The Challenger Deep, which is only a small part of the Mariana Trench, is something like 50 times the size of the Grand Canyon.
Located in the western Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench is known as the deepest part of the ocean, which makes it a perfect home for some of the most bizarre creatures, which have been fully adapted to the living conditions at such depth. Scientists have been fascinated for years by the sometimes alien-like beings that have been discovered at this depth, and today we'll be looking at 20 terrifying discoveries made in the Mariana Trench. Number 20. The Goblin Shark. At first glance, you can definitely tell how this terrifying creature got its name and why it is the first on this list. The goblin shark is a species of rare deep-sea shark that has been flourishing under the Mariana Trench for over 125 million years, which means it was alive during the time of the dinosaurs. This has earned it the nickname living fossil, and it lives up to the reputation. This weird shark with pink skin looks nothing like the sharks you're familiar with. It has a flat snout extending from its face, small eyes, exposed gill filaments, a large parabolic mouth, and one of the most impressive features, an extendable jaw. When the goblin shark is trying to catch a prey that seems to be out of reach, it extends its elastic jaw out of its mouth, snatching whatever delicacy is in front of it. Now that's a sight that'll definitely freak you out. Although terrifying to look at, this bottom feeder is nothing close to an apex predator, as it will eat just about anything, and hunts for its prey by ambush, as it is a slow swimmer. Number 19. The deep-sea dragonfish. This terrifying creature you're looking at is called the deep-sea dragonfish, a small, ferocious deep-sea predator with large jaws filled with transparent teeth that look like fangs. You should know, though, that even though the dragonfish teeth are transparent, they are stronger than a piranha and are perfect for catching prey. The deep-sea dragonfish is one of the strange creatures that you can find in the Mariana Trench, well adapted to the darkness that rules at such depth where the sun cannot even reach. It lights its own path, with a special bioluminescent organ called the photophore, which also helps when it is hunting. In the deepest part of the ocean, any faint light serves as a source of attraction for prey, who swim towards the light and end up as dinner. Although very small in size, growing to an average size of only 6 inches, the deep-sea dragonfish can capture prey that are more than half its size, owing to its enormous mouth, which can open to over 100 degrees. The male deep-sea dragonfish, however, is much smaller than the female, growing to only 1/10 the size of an average female. This is because the female has to be bigger and more robust in order to protect her eggs. Number 18. Megalodon. The megalodon is a megatooth shark that is considered to be the largest shark that ever existed, coming in as a Hall of Fame member of the Mariana Trench family. Although it went extinct just 3.6 million years ago, having lived for over 13 million years, one big question that confounded scientists is why the megalodon became extinct. Such a gigantic predator that feeds mostly on smaller sharks and even whales could be said to be the apex predators at the time, a predator that has no predator. However, due to our limited knowledge, we do not know for sure if the megalodon was the biggest predator in the ocean at the time. What we do know is that they were big, so massive that a megalodon is 3 times the size of the largest great white shark ever recorded. However, most of our assumptions are made based on a tooth fossil we found, and not an entire body, so we cannot conclude about how big the megalodon could have been in its time. Some scientists speculate that it may have even been just between 15 to 18 meters large, which is comparable to the whale sharks that still exist today. Such an apex predator existing today would be an interesting sight to see, and as many conspiracy theorists would like to believe, it still does, living deep within the Mariana Trench. Number 17. The anglerfish. Perhaps the most recognizable terrifying creature that lives in the Mariana Trench, the deep-sea anglerfish is a scary sight to behold and holds the reputation for always looking pissed. A lot of people call it the ugliest fish in the world, and that claim is not far-fetched, as the anglerfish possesses a face only a mother could love. It gets its name from the bioluminescent lure protruding from its face, called the esca, which it uses like a fishing pole to attract unsuspecting prey, attacking them ambush style, and swallowing them with a large mouth that can swallow prey twice its size. However, the esca is only present in the female, who are usually bigger than the male. The size difference is so profound that a female anglerfish can have 6 males living within its body, fertilizing its egg and feeding off of it. Number 16. Frilled shark. Just like its other counterpart, the goblin shark. The frilled shark is another prehistoric-looking deep-sea terror that lives in the Mariana Trench. The frilled shark can grow up to a length of nearly 7 feet and has a long, cylindrical body. The most terrifying thing about this shark is its face, which looks like it could give you nightmares for days. This underwater marvel is an active predator and is literally armed to the teeth, with its lower jaw containing 20 to 29 sets of curved, needle-like teeth, which is useful for capturing and devouring prey. They are very aggressive when they hunt and will launch at prey, swallowing it whole even if it is bigger than them. They mostly feed on squids. Number 15. Zombie worms. Zombie worms are exactly what their name sounds like, but instead of these zombies seeking to eat brains, they crave bones. Zombie worms were first discovered in 2002, living in the bones of a gray whale which was rotting on the ocean floor, hence where they got their scientific name, Ossidax, which means bone devourer. Living at exceptional ocean depths, these small worms, which can grow up to 1 to 3 inches, do not really eat the bone directly. Instead, they tend to digest the fat stored in the bone. Things get weirder when you discover that they don't actually have a mouth or a stomach. So in order to feed on the bones, they secrete a special acid which dissolves the bone, releasing the fat and protein stored within the bone. Although they feed mostly on whale bones, zombie worms feed on all fish bones, and scientists once discovered a colony on cow bones which were dumped from a ship into the ocean. Number 14. The vampire squid. The vampire squid, also known as vampire from hell, is another terrifying creature found at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. This cephalopod is a relatively small creature, growing to only a length of 1 feet, and is not an apex predator like it might appear. Looks can indeed be deceiving because this gentle scavenger feeds mainly on particles and remains of other fishes that makes its way from above to the depth where it dwells. When the vampire squid feels threatened, it inverts its cape, displaying a row of spine in order to intimidate the predator. However, it is quite harmless. Unlike all the squids and octopuses that live on the surface, the vampire squid does not produce ink to dissuade its predator. Instead, it expels a bioluminescent material, which distracts the predator. Number 13. Sarcastic fringe head. You've seen a lot of terrifying things in this video, but trust me, this one is on another level. The sarcastic fringe head is a small saltwater fish that is famous for its aggressive behavior and large mouth. The body is slender, elongate, moderately compressed, and mostly scaleless, adding to its eerie look, and it strangely lacks the lateral line that is found in many species of fish. The sarcastic is derived from the Greek word sarkazein, which means to tear flesh, which is a reference of its aggressive behavior, and the fringe head refers to a small tissue appendage on its head. Sarcastic fringe heads are one of the few homeowners of the ocean, living permanently in holes, cavities, or even discarded shells of other animals. Scientists have even reported seeing a sarcastic fringe head living in a discarded plastic bottle. It is also extremely territorial and tends to defend its house very aggressively, because its home is usually situated in a place perfectly selected due to abundance of food and mates. Because such luxuries are hard to come by in the deepest depth of the Mariana Trench, a sarcastic fringe head will defend its home with a kiss, a weird way to fight, but it works for them. As if things couldn't get any stranger, when male sarcastic fringe heads get threatened, they open their mouths to a scary circumference, revealing 2 rows of sharp teeth. They do this as a way to size each other up, so as to avoid getting into a physical fight that can lead to injury. The kissing fight is then won by the first to get intimidated by the other. As ferocious as they are, though, They are amazing fathers and will take care of the eggs, guarding them until they hatch, as the females usually leave immediately after laying eggs. Number 12. The viperfish. The scary-looking guy right here is one of the weirdest-looking creatures in the Mariana Trench. It is also one of the most famous deep-sea species, which doesn't come as a surprise with an unusual face like that. It has a very large mouth, filled with long, fang-like teeth, that are so long that they don't fit in its mouth, but instead, they curve backwards towards the fish's eye. Even though it looks terrifying, you'll be glad to know that the viperfish is in fact very small, and its 12-inch body will do you little harm if encountered in the deep sea. The long, sharp teeth are well adapted for grabbing hold of prey in the darkness of the Mariana Trench, which is so essential for its survival. It can be seen laying motionless, waiting for prey to come by and get hooked on the long teeth, which it sets as a trap. Its head also comes with another strange feature, an unhinged jaw that can be rotated when it is trying to swallow a large prey. Because food is scarce at depths like the Mariana Trench, the viperfish has evolved a large stomach, so it can stock up on food when it is in abundance. However, they also have a low metabolic rate, which means they can go for days without eating. This deep-sea terror is also bioluminescent, producing light with the many photophores located along its sides. This helps it hide from predators, attract food, and mate. Our knowledge of this creator is limited, as we have not been able to fully observe them in their natural habitat. Number 11. The snailfish. Another creepy tenant of the Mariana Trench is the snailfish, a small ray-finned fish. They can be found at some of the deepest depths of the ocean and in the Mariana Trench. Its elongated, slender, tadpole-like body is adapted for swimming in the deep sea, coupled with a gelatinous layer on the skin which is rich in carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, providing extensive growth at a low metabolic rate. The nailfish also usually has a long dorsal fin on his back and a sucking disc below its head, which is formed from the pelvic fins and helps the fish stay attached to the bottom. They can be as small as 2 inches, but can also grow up to 30 inches. These elusive deep-sea creatures are known to exist at the deepest part of the ocean, which makes the Mariana Trench a perfect home, and they feed majorly on other fishes, crustaceans, and decapods. Number 10. Dumbo octopus. This one isn't really terrifying. As a matter of fact, it is a little cute, often referred to as the cutest octopus in the world. It obviously got its name from its striking resemblance to the character of Dumbo the elephant in the 1941 Disney movie, Dumbo. Although very cute, the Dumbo octopus lives at extreme depths, including in the Mariana Trench, and scientists believe it the deepest living octopus known to scientists. Unlike other octopuses, who move by expelling water from their siphons through a process called jet propulsion, Dumbo octopuses move with the aid of the webbing between their arms, which opens and closes like a big umbrella swimming through the bottom of the ocean. Their staple diet consists of worms, shellfish, and amphipods, which they catch with the aid of special organs called the cirri. The cirri creates a current, directing the food into their mouth. Unlike other octopuses who release ink when threatened, creating a dark cloud which diverts the attention of the predator, allowing the octopus to make an escape, this deep-sea ghost does not have a chromatophore or a functioning ink sac, so it cannot produce ink. However, this is not an issue, as there aren't many predators found at depths where the Dumbo octopus makes it home. Number 9. Telescope octopus. Next on our list of terrifying discoveries found in the Mariana Trench is the telescope octopus, or Amphitrechus pelagicus. This transparent octopus, which is a close relative of the glass octopus, is almost colorless and invisible due to its gelatinous flesh, a feature that helps it avoid predators. It has 8 arms, all of which are the same size, and tubular eyes protruding from its head like telescopes, which earned it the name telescope octopus. Because their entire body is transparent, their digestive glands and eyes are clearly visible from the outside. Just like many other creatures found in the Mariana Trench, very little is known about the telescope octopus because of the depth they live in, which is not easily accessible. Studying these freaks of nature will involve going on a dangerous and, of course, very expensive expedition to the bottom of the ocean. Number 8. Comb jellies. It might be hard to believe, but this next creature has been roaming the sea for over 500 million years, existing long before the dinosaurs came. Comb jellies, or ctenophore, are marine invertebrates, which can be found in the Mariana Trench, which must be how they've survived for so long. Fossils have been found that date back to about 525 million years ago, and scientists have proposed that they constitute the second earliest branching animal lineage. Comb jellies are quite large, and an adult can grow to up to 5 feet. Their body is made up of a mass of jelly, and they are known for their cilia, commonly known as combs, which they use for movement and for which they get their name. Although comb jellies are similar to jellyfish, they are not close relatives, and are classified in different phyla, although they have both been in existence for a very, very long time. Number 7. Deep-sea hatchetfish. At first glance, the hatchetfish may look terrifying, but when you realize how small it is, you realize it's not as intimidating as you made it out to be. An adult deep-sea hatchetfish can grow to a meager length of only 4.7 inches, which is like the size of a credit card. These deep-sea dwellers can be found cruising through the deepest part of the ocean, their silver bodies shining in the darkness of the deep. The deep-sea hatchetfish is flattened from side to side, with slender tails, and some light organs forming a row on the lower edge of both sides of the body. One thing you can easily observe about them, though, is their large and sensitive eyes, which are mounted on tubes that point upward. This special feature helps them to detect predators, or even camouflaged prey moving above them. The hatchetfish feeds mainly on ostropods, small crustaceans and fish larvae, and is prey to bigger fishes like tuna and lancetfish. Number 6. Deep-sea amphipods. During a deep-sea exploration in 2009, scientists collected specimens of a giant shrimp-like crustacean. Known scientifically as Hirondelia gigas, and commonly called amphipods, these deep-sea crustaceans are twice as big as most of their common relatives, growing up to 3 centimeters in size. James Cameron, an explorer with National Geographic, also mentioned that he noticed these giant amphipods during his record-breaking dive into the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, in 2012. However, because food is very hard to come by at the depth at which these amphipods live, scientists wondered how they got so big. After careful study, though, they found the answer. This deep-sea scavenger feeds on wood. Now that is very weird. Scientists found powerful food digesting enzymes in its system, the same type of enzymes that are found in plant-eating animals, such as termites. This was a pointer to its diet of sunken ships and whatever wood particles float to the bottom of the ocean. To support their theory, they also found cellobiose, a byproduct of digested wood in the amphipod's tissues. Cellobiose is a component of plants and is never naturally produced by animals. Deep-sea amphipods even possess a special ability to starve for long. When food is scarce, therefore when presented with an opportunity to eat, they feed to their fullest capacity, which explains why they get so big. Now it's time for today's subscriber's pick. Legend has it that deep within the ocean, at depths where no man has ever explored, lies a mythical creature, Cthulhu, the demon of the sea with the head of an octopus and the torso of a man. This gigantic half-man, half-arthropod is believed to rule the deepest parts of the ocean and is said to have existed on the Earth before humans evolved. Although the Cthulhu originated as a work of fiction, a product of the imagination of the famous fantasy horror writer H.P. Lovecraft, in his book Weird Tales, which was published in 1928, many conspiracy theorists have reasons to believe that the story must have been inspired by a real-life event. These believers in Cthulhu continuously seek to uncover the secret location of the abomination, and some have postulated that it lives deep in the Mariana Trench. It is, however, important to state that the existence of this terrifying creature has not been confirmed by science, and has been stated as purely a work of fiction. But who knows, right? Maybe we just haven't explored deep enough. Who knows what we can find? Do you think Cthulhu is real? Or at least there's a real version of it? Let us know in the comments. Number 5. The blobfish. Deep in the Mariana Trench lives one of the most recognizable deep-sea creatures, a deep-sea fish that has become famous for its glum facial expression, which earned it the reputation for being the world's ugliest animal. The blobfish, known officially as Cycrolutes marcatus, is a deep-sea creature from the family Cycrolutidae. When they are in their natural habitat, they look exactly like any other fish, with a tadpole-shaped body, feathery pectoral fins, and flabby, scaleless skin, which has a high fat and water content. They are able to keep this form, as the high-pressure environment of the deep sea holds their body mass together. However, they lose their form when they are taken out of their natural habitat, becoming a blob in the form that we all know and love. Although they are not essentially edible, many times they get swept up as bycatch during deep-sea fishing, along with other fishes and crustaceans. Because their bodies have been so perfectly adapted to the deep sea, they tend to die on getting to the surface, even if they are returned to the water. When underwater, the blobfish does not stress itself to search for food. Instead, it lies in wait and feeds on anything that swims by, feeding majorly on anemones, crustaceans, and carrion. Number 4. Urethanes plastics. This next one is the most terrifying of all discoveries on this list, but not in the same way that the others would terrify us. Ocean contamination has become a thing of serious worry. Our water bodies are full of microplastics due to our indiscriminate and uncontrolled disposal of plastics items and industrial waste into our ocean. This has resulted in the contamination of aquatic life, killing our fishes, turtles, and destroying aquatic habitats. One evidence of this is in the discovery of Urethanes plasticus, an amphipod which lives in the Mariana Trench and had been unknown to scientists prior to its discovery in 2014. Unfortunately, it had already been contaminated with microplastics by the time it was discovered, hence its name. Researchers found this when they examined the 4 specimens they caught and found out one of them had particles of plastic in its hindgut. This was quite saddening, as it made us understand that even creatures of the deep sea were getting affected by our plastic pollution, and we do not even know how many other undiscovered species have microplastics in their bodies. Number 3. Plastic trash. Well, this one might be the most terrifying discovery on this list, because of the devastating effects it keeps having on our ocean. Plastic trash has now become the deepest known trash in the world, after being discovered by scientists, as they studied the Deep Sea Debris Database, which is a compilation of deep-sea photos and videos, which have been taken by divers over the past 30 years. The database went public recently, and one of the prevalent pictures was that of plastic trash, once again helping us realize how bad our plastic pollution has become. The Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the Earth, where unusual creatures thrive, oblivious to the troubles of the world above. But now the trench is getting more and more polluted. If a place that deep could have that much plastic trash, then what part of the ocean is safe for aquatic life? Number 2. The football fish. The football fish, which gets its name from its round shape which looks like a football, is a type of anglerfish which dwells at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Just like all the other anglerfish, body dysmorphia occurs in this species, as the female grows way bigger than the male, growing up to 2 feet in length. The males are usually very small though, growing only as big as 1.5 inches. Both the male and the female football fish have gelatinous flesh, with bioluminescent bacteria, which helps them glow in the darkness of the Mariana Trench. Also, like all the anglerfish, the female is characterized by the presence of an esca, which it uses to attract prey. This slow swimmer hunts for prey majorly by ambush, lying in wait at the ocean floor for any prey they get attracted to the lure and the bioluminescent glow. Number 1. The barreleye fish. Coming last on our list is this freak of nature that makes the Mariana Trench its home, the barreleye fish. Also known as the spookfish, which sounds like a more appropriate name, as this fish will definitely spook anyone. The barreleye fish get its name from the shape of its eyes, 2 green orbs pointing upward, which can easily be seen because its head is transparent. The green color of its eyes helps it to filter out any light that finds its way into the darkness of the depth, so it can be able to see prey better. Although the eyes of the barreleye fish are usually pointed upward, they can rotate to the front whenever necessary. The barreleye fish is quite small in size, growing up to 6 inches in length, and it feeds majorly on zooplanktons, crustaceans, and siphonophores. Because of the depth of the Mariana Trench, our study has been very limited, and we believe that there are still many more terrifying discoveries to be made as human curiosity leads us deeper and deeper into the deepest part of our planet.